Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or massages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Energies. Up, Big Cat. I insist. Just waiting for the notification to go out to let the big cats know we're about to have a tete-a-tete. A quick guess what, bestie? Oi, guess what? What is it? What? The spellcasters in your blood relatives, darling dears, amongst your blood relatives. People who had the effrontery to share the same womb as you, darling dears. They are being exposed by their own mouths. Why? Because of all of the pomp and circumstance, darling dears. Because you ain't saying shiz nae. Because you are moving in silence. Because you're happy. Why are you happy? Because you realize that time is the same, whether you laugh or cry. And you've decided to keep on laughing, darling dears, as you continue to bend the matrix and sock it to them as the Big Cat Chronicles continues. In one fell swoop, divine's gone radam, yes baby, and landed the ancestors on them. They can't understand how you was able to fall down 7 times and get up 8. They didn't realize that you would understand that the prime of your life really does only come around once, darling dears. You've got no time to waste your good energies on the feeble-minded. Because you have to know, besties, right? These small-minded family members that keep calling up your name, trying to pull on your energies. They're small-minded and all they can do is discuss you. The average mind ones, what are they doing? They're discussing events. Where you are, Big Cat, a great mind, you're discussing your ideas. With I, myself, and me, your ancestors. Amongst yourself, darling dears, possibly even a progeny or two, if you have them. They didn't believe that you'll find your prefrontal cortex, your hippocampus, and your amygdala important. Imagine that. Ha ha! I know, bestie. Feeble-minded simpletons, these dull-eyed ones. They wanted you to come back so they could give you another bout of cognitive dissonance. They didn't realize that you was the power grid that held them all together. Why? They was happy chucking it at your blood, putting it on your blood, blaming you for everything, blood, when they should have put the blame on themselves. They want you back amongst them, darling dears, to get that boost of energy so they can have you to pick on, darling dears, but they can't pick on you. And the wickedest thing, they try to pick on each other, but it's like pissing in the wind, darling dears. It's still blowing back on them. They didn't like the fact that you managed to get away, darling dears. They didn't like the fact that their words, if you dare to hear them, darling dears, it used to drive you to fury, darling dears. Do you remember when things used to drive you to fury? Yes, baby, those days. I remember them well. Hit the bass. Because you are the moving silence champion, darling dears. You are the CEO of minding your own business. You are focused on making yourself great, darling dears. Remember, they are liars. They are double-minded, and a liar will always get their karma. Psalms 53:23. Their mouths will be shut. Isaiah 37:33. Remember, I told you that. But it's not for you to do, darling dears. Nah, blood. You must continue to mind your own business. Protect your frontal cortex, your hippocampus, and your amygdala. They're very important. They want to continue to be a tampon string in your life, darling dears, getting into all sorts of crevices that's got nothing to do with them. They want to come and attach themselves to your greatness now, darling dears. They're trying to attach that word that I hate so much unless you are a little child. That little business you've got, that little channel you've started, those little studies you're doing. Imagine that when you are the boss of everything you survey, darling, just because you chose you. You chose to be an armchair gangster, darling, just because you had to understand the psychoses that you had to overcome and get away from, like Tinky Winky. You understood the assignment when I kept telling you, bestie. Socrates told us the key to everything is knowing thyself. They did not, these double-minded people, darling dears, James 1:8, did not expect your ancestors to come and support you because they've been trying to call the same said ancestors when you was the one chosen from the 64 to be the one to lead everyone to the light. What did they do when you was there? What did they do? Many of you besties found yourself in such appalling, deplorable situations, abusive situations, darling dears, where you were being abused by them and others, where you were self-medicating. Which one of them tried to help? They didn't try to help. They was on the balls of their feet as merchants of slander, darling dears, trying to bring you down to anyone that would listen, not realizing they were talking to the horde, the same feeble-minded simpletons that are up for it, mate. They're up for what? A ride on the short spiritual bus past the sign that says you can't F off past this point. Divine put you in spiritual quarantine for a reason, darling dears. It's not the time for you to continue to sit down and cry into your fist. Are you mad, blood, brah, or sistrine? If you are still crying right now, put me on pause, please, and go to the mirror. And when you get to that mirror, look deep into your eye chakras. Which one is your dominant hand? Mine is the right. The non-dominant hand, that's the jazz hand. Look deep into your eye chakras and tell yourself that you're crying over this person. This hand will come up and snatch your life, darling. It will black your eye. It will choke your throat. It will bang your head on the wall. Yeah. Give you a real reason to cry, darling dears. And when you're finished doing that, wash your face and come back. Wash your face like David. And we shall finish this read because we're getting them all the way together, darling dears. You are more than a conqueror, big cat. When was the last time you patted yourself on the back for what you've achieved? You are self-automated, darling dears. You don't need, a whole village to pay your bills. To get to common sense, that flower, which is a superpower that does not, I repeat, does not grow in those spellcasters' gardens. Your flip-flops are firmly on. You're saying, Case, what do you mean? Flip-flop is code, darling dears, for your common sense. These feeble-minded simpletons are still getting in their horde and their gang, trying to find a way to bring you back to fucking ease, blood. These same ones that wisdom has been chasing them for years, but they are so fast. They run fast from wisdom. They didn't realize when you said you was done and pushed yourself away from that table of iniquity. They didn't realize that you had dropped the gauntlet. You called hockey sticks at dawn to protect your own energies, not to fight them, not to get them to believe your way, not to change anybody's mind who is hell-bent on thinking the worst of you. They are deceptive and self-destructive, darling dears. And guess what? Tag, they are it. Why? They won't keep your name out their mouth, darling dears. I told you, small minds spend their days discussing a big cat. A big cat who doesn't even recognize them. When you see them, you've got your darkest glass on, darling dears. You've watched my Don't Get Smoked video where I teach you like Kung Fu and self-defense. I've got 2 Don't Get Smoked videos out. One is about sibling rivalry and one shows you how to fight, darling dears. Because some of you are scared to put your... I ain't scared to put my hands on no one, blood. I told you, especially my jazz left one. Listen, I ain't scared of them, darling dears. I'm scared of me. Because my anger is so... How can I put it? It's planetary wrecking, darling dears. My anger. This is why I had to learn to channel that anger into what? Knowledge. Knowledge is power. But real power is knowledge applied. Many of you are feeling extremely lonely at this time. You don't have anyone to talk to, right? You don't have anyone to tell you that if you contact them, you're a fucking idiot. I will do it. Email me before you contact them, before you answer that telephone. Email me, blood. I will be on your case. Matter of fact, if you send me a plane ticket, I will turn up in person to give you the benefit of a jazz hand. What do you mean? They wish madness on you. They want you barking at passing cars. They want you to come back so you can be a thumber in their life. Don't go back, bestie. You see this book about freedom. This is about the straw man. Listen, when I read this book, it drove me to fury. Fury! When I realized how we've been effed over for eons, darling dears. This little group of what? Peasants, darling dears. They're peasants. Is nothing in the grand scale of things. You told no lies, darling dears, when you told them to F off and go and do a pooper lick. What's a pooper lick? That's a Jamaican terminology for a forward roll. You told many of them to go and find a ladder, climb to the top of the ladder, and dive off that ladder into their narcissistic mama. Yes, the same mama that's yours. But did that mama stop them from what? Trying to what? Make you brown bread. Did they? Or did they add to it? And that same parent that is being abused by the same ones that what? Told them that you was the one that was causing all the problems. You was the one that was stupid. You was the one that needed to go away. But they didn't know that when you left, you would take the power grid with you. These backwards looking giraffes. They're not giraffes. They look like what? Hood-looking alfalfas with yarn for hair. These creatures from the backwoods that dare try to attach family and your name. They're trying to attach themselves to what they called little in your life. But it's something that they cannot achieve, not in this lifetime or the next, darling dears. But unfortunately for them, you ain't in no competition with them, darling dears. Why? Because you met me, bestie. And we are friends to the end, but not like Chucky. No. You must realize, as I've told you many times, it's the good deeds, it's the thoughts, darling dears, those that deserve your help and time. This will be your last rodeo on this Malkuth. Those 64 ancestors chose you to come back to break the what? The generational curses and free their souls from this prison planet of reincarnation. You've got bigger fish to fry. Why not? You're a big cat, fist bump. How dare they? They dare. You will be approached, darling dears. They will try and send in the one that seems the most harmless, when you know that was the king of chatterboxes. The one that is restless with their deception, darling dears. So this same little whatever they attach the little to, darling dears, is faring thee well. You have self-autonomy. I'm not angry. You think I'm not angry, blood? But sometimes Spirit says I've got to talk to you in a firm manner. Why? Because we're besties, darling dears. And who else gonna tell you? I will get you by your what's it? Melted lace front if you wear them. Why? Because I'm your friend, darling dears. And I stand at the door of common sense. Flip-flops, darling dears. I stand at that door. Let's dive in and see what's going on amongst the cards as you protect your prefrontal cortex, your hippocampus, and your amygdala. Bloody cheek. They got a bloody cheek. But the feeble-minded will always be bold, darling dears, and shameless. They didn't realize that you would choose over them. What did you choose? The 6 G's. God, goals, gifts, greatness, growth, and gratitude. Because when you left, whether you have progeny now or not, or you intend to have them in the future, darling dears, you freed your lineage. Let's dive in and see what's going on. Some of you don't even realize what's coming towards you. You've got the energy of a 6, darling dears. We'll put this to one side as we unpack where the big cat is. This is Chinese numerology. This is a low shoe grid, darling dears. So you may live in the south, or will be traveling to the south, or the energy that's coming towards you is from the south, darling dears, where the feeble-minded marauders, these hood-looking alfalfas, these backwards walking, looking giraffes, darling dears. Yeah, the ones with yarn for hair. They're looking at no matter what they talk on, darling dears, your back is turned. You don't even see the fact that your reputation and your finances, darling dears, some of you are about to step into fame. Your income is about to be buffed up, darling dears. You're about to be blessed. Blessed in ways that you didn't even imagine. You just wanted to make it one day at a time, darling dears. You just wanted to make sure that you wasn't making the wrong step. Remember, when divine is ready to work in your life, it's Radam. So be it mote. They haven't seen nothing yet, darling dears. They have a right to be nervous. This is why their mouths are open, darling dears, and they can't take you out their mouth. These feeble-minded simpletons with yarn for hair. I used to get angry, and I used to cuss them out, darling dears. I did. Well, I cussed one of them out. She had to go and hide under a tree. Yeah, she did. If my eyes could have been like, what's that man's name is it from what's his name? The one from that school. Is it Cyclops that could just with a laser beam? That tree would have been on her, mate. It would have been on her. But I realized wasting my good energy on someone who is hell-bent on being a shepherd of the devil is a waste of my good. She had to run underneath the tree. You're right, Donnie. She had to, right? Because this same one, she loved to quote the Bible on everyone, right? So I led with Isaiah 48:22. You think say me no know the Bible? When me see my mother read the Bible every day? And then she went to touch me. This same one liked to attack me when everybody was, because I used to get mad and everybody would hold on to me and she'd have the effrontery to put her hands on me. Nobody was holding her and she went to touch me and I said, bitch, I work out 6 days a week. I will work you like it's your job and like it's my job. And the position that I was in, I'm a warrant card holder. Yes, I am. Because you see, in my job, I'm trained to defend myself. I paid the extra £1,500 to learn how to take a knife and a gun away from the person, right? Yeah, I don't want to just defend myself. I want to brock off your bomber clock, finger them. What do you mean? But I'm not mad. Let me feng shui myself. She had to go under the tree, blood. I ain't got no time to waste speaking to those people and that dark energy. You mustn't either. Oh, my right hand is itching me, darling dears. You know I'm Reiki Master and I can share that energy anyhow I please. Take this energy, darling dears. Abundance is afoot. Didn't we just see the energy of the 9? The 9 also speaks about fruition, ending of a cycle. You are about to attain something because you surrender to the process. The process of what? Coming into your real self. The energy of the 6, darling dears, we have the energy of the 1. It speaks about evaluate everything. You have a major decision to make, but divine is cautioning you not to make the major decision until after the next new moon. The next new moon will be in Aries, yes baby, and it's the solar eclipse. Imagine that. Hold on, stick a pin in that. Let me just finish telling you about this, right? The energy of the 5 also speaks about someone or someone's feel threatened by the security that you've created for yourself, darling dears. Yeah, I told you you're going to have a visitation like Beetlejuice or Candyman. Someone coming back from the dead. The Pet Cemeteryite, right? Your birthday, darling dear, could be the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th. The number 6 is associated with the letters F, O, and X. You are a natural nurturer, darling dears, a healer. And you're, I would say, a jester, not in that you're a fool, darling. I'm speaking about the light-hearted way that you are seeing life. The luckiest numbers for you over the next few days will be 3, 6, and 9. The energy of the 6, 15, or the 24 could be your door number or a specific date in your life, darling. There's a significant date. The number 6 is ruled by Venus, the planet of abundance, beauty, artistry, darling dears. Venus rules Taurus as well as Libra. Venus is associated with the letters U, V, and W. So you have U, V, W, and F, O, and X. Your luckiest days over the next few days will be Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Avoid the numbers 1, 5, and 7. It may even be a birth date of the person that's trying to come through again. Pay attention, darling dears. It could be the date or the month they was born in. Remember I told you that. Boy, do you love me? Oh, I heart you too. I love you too. Like I said, if you're going to approach the Skullduggeress, make sure you email me first, yeah? I will wake up out my sleep like this. What do you mean, Black? I will probably send you a voice note cussing you out, but in a kind way, so that you don't waste your energy. Nobody gets to be in their prime again, darling dears. And these are energy vampires that don't understand how you was managed to break away. The energy of my right hand is itching me blood. The right hand is itching me because, as I said, finances are afoot. The energy of the 6, darling dears, is also represented by the master number 33. You're a spiritual teacher, darling dears. You leaving that horde, right? These family members, these spellcasters behind, right? Was meant to teach them a lesson in your what? Peacefulness and resilience. You was dropping dimes on them, but yet they said what? Get out, get out. Yeah, they treated you like the ugly duckling. Imagine that. When you was meant to be a swan. 76 in the chat, darling dears. That goes to what? The number of 13. That's the death card in tarot. Listen, baby, I'm not picking on you. Death card is what? Scorpio energy. It's the 8th house. It was a painful breakup for you, darling dears, because it was all you knew. But you had to get away from them to realize that they was going to put you in the what? The long kiss goodbye, darling dears. That's sleeping with the fishes. You had to get your phoenix mode on. Step into this new great chapter, the greatest chapter in your life. One where you know what's going on. Blood, bra, or sistrine. Right. As I've said to you before, I've been reading a lot of charts, darling dears. And I believe, my personal beliefs, that the biggest generational shift of wealth is going to happen between the 8th of April and the 20th of April. Stick a pin in that. What? Listen, we all know, right, that we're going through the energy of the lunar eclipse in Libra at this moment in time, okay? Okay. And you know the solar eclipse is going to come and it's going to create an X over the USA, okay? So why does the USA have the what? The National Guard on standby for the 8th of April. Pay attention, bestie. FEMA have been putting out leaflets all over the USA if you need help. FEMA, the same ones that's got them. Have you seen them coffins that can fit up to a family of 5 or 6 in? Why is all of this occurring? Then all of a sudden, there's an issue over where that man is. I can't even say his name. You know, the one that showed everyone that there's a black, Jesus is black. right? Because he's getting out all of his shiz night. He's getting out the big guns, darling dears. Because the rule of the wickedness is over. The 1,000 years is over. The golden age is over. We are in the age of Aquarius, and so many things are being revealed to us, but you have to pay attention. If you live where the X is going to be over the UK, I suggest, yeah, you can say it, Donny Renee, but I can't say it because YouTube don't like these things. They will take me out of the algorithm, darling dears, and put me in YouTube prison with the prisoners. If you live in those areas, bestie, if you can find the funds, better yet, my right hand's been itching me. Go down on your knees. Ask Divine to help you relocate. I know it's short time. I know you may have family. I know. But I'm telling you, something major is coming, and they're not going to tell you what's going to happen, darling dears. Look what's happening with P. Diddy, right? They've got us all focused on him, right? Look, baby, bestie, oi, when has the federales ever come to raid anyone's house in broad daylight with a whole camera crew and helicopters flying over? It's bad enough that Diddy ran off and left his progeny to it, darling dears, but he got a tip off. Wasn't he flying over the Gulf of Mexico dumping evidences? Cardi B got raided the same day and she said she's going to sue, but all of them are in that shit together, darling dears. Do you really think that they're going to get those billions and not be what? Made to toe the line? Look at that cargo ship, right? That just crashed in that bridge in Baltimore, right? The cargo ship that should have known that you can't go that bomber ass Clark Weir because your ship is too big for the bridge, darling dears. It's taken out that bridge in Baltimore, darling dears. And what will that bring in? Because it can't, because there was a few thousand lorries was going across that bridge on a daily basis, bringing in supplies, much needed supplies for the people that live there. Now that's gone out, guess what they're going to put in place? The 15-minute cities. Listen, pay attention, bestie. I can't be there when you cross the road, but I can drop gems on you, darling dears. You don't have to believe me. Find out for yourself that the National Guard is going to be deployed on around the 8th of April. Why? They're even calling back soldiers that retired. Because they can call back people up to, I believe it's 8 years. Everything's about the 8 after they finish service. All of this is true that I'm telling you. Pay attention, bestie. If I really sit down and think about what's happening to everybody on this Malkuth that's not paying attention, look what they made you do. They made you get the Jabberoo. And many of you are crying now into your fist. I've told you, get the Sea Legit, darling dears. You can get the Sea Legit off of Amazon. Don't listen to my words. Research it. And if you buy it, don't buy the cheapest one, blood. And if you ain't got the money, buy the second cheapest one. Right? You have to protect your temple. Your energies is being protected from your wicked family members, darling dears, that wish you dead, that put that little in front of your name. How dare they? They dare. I told you they are bold and shameless. If you can find that little $100 over the next few days, darling dears, go and buy your solar power so that you can at least charge your phone. You need a two-way radio. Get some water or a water filtration system, darling dears, right? Get the little stores of food. Get your bags of rice, your whatever. You don't have to have a whole heap of money, but if it is as I believe it's going to be the 3 days of darkness, as I believe, this is my own personal opinion, how are you going to get food, blood? If you can go and buy yourself a little camping stove, get your little solar, do it. Stop waiting for those people in charge to tell you what's going on. Remember, they see us all as useless food eaters, darling dears. Remember the Georgia cornerstones that was destroyed last year out of the blue because it set certain things into motion. Imagine they got cameras on the Georgia cornerstones, but yet no one saw anyone lay the charge. Pay attention, bestie. I can't protect all of you. All I can do is protect my own progeny, darling dears. Look, you break that chain. You have to create the freedom for yourself. Don't let these family members draw you back into no fucking knees blood. If you've left, stay gone. It's their energy thieves, darling dears. And don't pay attention to what those people in charge are telling you. Look the other way. If they're telling you to look at this, look the other way. Another bill is being passed in Parliament or in where the Senate, wherever the bills are being passed in your country. Pay attention, bestie. I can't protect you. All I can protect is my progeny. And like I said, if you can find it in yourself to get yourself some of them crypto, the ones that they said is what kryptonite to a big cat. Why are they all going that way now? I told you, AI utilities, darling dears. People are worried about Bitcoin. It's not just about the Bitcoin, darling dears. What about the cryptocurrency that supports financial systems? You can spend as little as £10 or $10, darling dears, because when this is hundreds of trillions of dollars. You can create that generational wealth for yourself. You can. Right. Have I got off my... I think I've got off my soapbox. But if I go back into it, darling dears, who gonna check me, boo? Let me sip my mocha, because I ain't getting smoked, bestie. I'm not. We want to still talk about those evil skullduggerous ones that want to drag you back to hell in a handbasket. Let's get the African goddess rising and get it pushing at a hot trot. You are a spiritual teacher and you were there to teach them and guide them. And look what they done did. Check where you what house Venus is in your birth natal chart, darling dears. Check to see Venus, where Venus is in, what house it's in, because that's still tools that will make you armed and dangerous. I told you, Divine gave us all clues in how to bend the matrix. But you've got to be ready to understand the information that is being downloaded onto you. And you have to become that keyboard gangster. Find out information. Because knowledge applied is power. What is the ancestral message? Yeah, it's your time to shine on a 32. The energy of a 32 goes down to a 5. Conflicts and confusion, darling dears. But it's going to create constructive freedoms for you. This is life lesson, darling dears. But it's a life lesson in your resourcefulness. Some of you are going to be traveling, and this is notification. Some of you are going to get those skrillers to move away from that area. Listen, the energy of the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse lasts for 6 months. I'm serious, blood. I'm so serious. If I could get into the camera and jettison into your house, you'd be shocked as shit, blood. You'd be like, whoa! If I could do that, I'll be sitting with you, mate. Right? Offering you what? A cold compress for your forehead and a hot one for your back as we plan, plot, and strategize, darling dears. You freed yourself, darling dears, and you are a beacon. This also reminds me of Aries the ram or Taurus the bull, darling dears. Aries energy is about self, putting yourself first. And Taurus is also about your resources, darling dears, your values. Your talents and your skills, as well as the past. Base of the deck. Yeah. Because I told you, it's all good in your hood on the energy of the 4. Security, darling dears. The energy of the 4 also speaks about the stability and the structure you've created by what? Being using self-autonomy, darling dears. You are in manifestation mode. The energy of the 4, darling dears, is represented by Aquarius as well as Big Cat Leo energy. So drama is coming your way. Remember I told you that? They are chopping it up, darling dears. These same ones that want to come and wreak havoc in your life. These family members that you left in the dust. The H is for the what? Harlot, aka Jezebel spirit, darling dears. The A is because they are an advocate of the gingivitis. They are a lying liar, skin peeling liars, right? The V is because they're a victim. They are shape shifting and mean. Yeah, they're making themselves the victim in a situation, and they are truly obnoxious. That's what the O's for, obnoxious, darling dears. And see, because they want to get their echopraxic on. They want to be a copycat, but you can't copy greatness, especially when your soul is weighed down by so much darkness. These small-minded simpletons. Let me ring my bell, yeah? No weapon formed against you shall prosper. May you forever be covered by the grace of Father God, Mother Isis, and the guidance of your ancestral team. So be it, moat. Right. Let's get... There's feeble-minded talking in the background. Okay, let's get a deck that I haven't used in a while. I'm going to use the yellow ones because they're cowards, darling dears. Cowards. Realize, recognize, realize. Listen, I told you, one of them is going to try and jettison back into the situation to draw you back to the fucking knees, blood. So they can give you another reverse friar tuck. They're going to work on your hairline and your edges that no edge control can bring back. Remember the last time, bestie? You barely got out by the what? By this hair or the skin of your proverbial balls. What's going on? Right? Because you had this spiritual awakening. And it's on the energy of the 8. The 8 is correct whether up or down. The energy of the 8 speaks about money. Skrilla.com, darling dears. It speaks about the 8th house. Yes. About the birth. Was it the death and the birth of you, darling dears? The death of the old you. It also, the 8th house is also about some kind of inheritance, some kind of legacy that was stolen by these family members from you, darling dears. Assets, some form of an asset. 8th house energy, darling dears. They tried to keep it a secret, but how can you keep it a secret when God sits high and looks low? And the 8th house again speaks about what? Your spiritual awakening, your psychic awakening. This is why I've been telling you for the longest, I've really been putting my back into it these past few weeks. If you're drinking alcohol, remember, you are allowing your auric field to let in spirits of confusion, darling dears, and depression. If you're still on the Bob Marley's, yeah, I know it's for relaxation, but if you're doing it all day long, you got to put it down, darling dears. Use the energy. We are still under the what? The lunar eclipse in Libra, darling dears. A time of letting go. Write that shiznai down. I believe we've got one last night of of this lunation, darling dears. Write it down, what you want to release. And release it. I don't care what it is. Let it go, darling dears, because your mind has to be clear and free so that spirit can speak to you, darling dears. Something to do with insurance, darling dears, and taxes. They stole a legacy from you. They did, darling dears, and now they're worried. Why? Because you didn't come back. You didn't argue. You didn't fight. You just hands off, darling dears. They didn't expect your Lazarus, eh? Your monumental comeback, eh? They didn't expect it, eh? You being getting great, right? It's creeping up on them like a cheap lace thong, darling dears. That's their business. I hope it soars away at both sides of their... You made me angry. So the things I said is your fault. They're blaming you, right? For the things that they said, darling dears. Imagine that. Didn't I tell you they're still calling your name amongst the feeble-minded? Trying to gather an army, a horde, against one big cat who's minding their own business. The energy of the 8, darling dear, speaks about you being a humanitarian, a natural caregiver, but you have learned not everybody deserves that level of caregiving from you. They didn't expect to miss you, darling dears. They miss you like cooked food. You don't miss them. You did in the beginning. Until you met me and I told you to go to that fucking mirror, blood. Right now. Oi. Bestie, oi. Listen, don't judge me. I'm a pointer, not a picker. I had to do that shit to myself. I'm scared of my left hand now. I'm afraid to think about them because my left hand will snatch my edges, blood. And now I'm looking at my left hand to see that it's calm down, calm down. Leave the big cat alone. Yeah. Okay. Let's get some more intel on these feeble-minded dummy bats. Yeah. Who God bless, no man can curse. And it's the energy of the what? The Hierophant, darling dears, the second house. So that same little job, that little education, that little house, that little car, whatever you've done, did, darling dears, this is what they're talking about, because the second house is about your resources, darling dears. Your natural born skills, your talents. The second house also speaks about government. Some of you work in a government position or have a government job, darling dears. It's about your reputation, darling dears. They want to associate themselves with you. Well, guess what? Law number 5. Hang with 4 bottom feeders. Guess who's going to be number 5? Continue to give them the benefit and the length and breadth of your shapely back and butt cheeks, darling dears. They have faith, darling dears, that maybe that you'll come back. Let's split the deck. Knight of Swords. Didn't I tell you somebody's coming in quickly? They're going to send the head of the feeble-minded to you, darling dears. I'm seeing Aquarius, Capricorn, and Pisces energy here. Sun, moon, or rising. Let's dive in, darling dears, and see what's going on with these bottom feeders. How dare they dare? They dare. What else does the big cat need to know about these wicked people that want to draw them back into their hemisphere, right? Look, I can't make it up. When we see the 9 of Pentacles on its forehead, darling dears, this is drama.com. This is the kind of drama, right? Have you barking at passing cars? This is groups that are talking about you, darling dears. People that are not mentally stable. They're losing their shiznai because you didn't come back and they can't do your damn thing. You rely on you. I depend on me. Yeah. All the women who's independent, throw your hands up with me. Come through, Beyonce. Posh clap. They don't like the fact that you're independent, that you don't need a hoard, that you can pay your bills, that you've got a chariot of righteousness, that you've got that job, that promotion, you started that business. You may even be online. Pentacles represent online. Trust and believe, nobody watches you closer than a hater. They are mesmerized by your greatness. Yeah. This is an archway. It means that they've got no new opportunities in their life, darling dears. I know, bestie. I know. It speaks about they want to be admitted or have admission or be up close to what you've got going on. They do. When we see flowers, darling dears, it usually speaks about a new beginning, but every one of these flowers are turned over. They're what? Withering away, right? Under your greatness. Did not expect you to pull a Lazarus, eh? Didn't think that. They thought that you needed their energy to get great, darling dears, when it was their energy that was ruining you. What did I tell you? You are being protected. This is your spiritual strength, darling dears. I love you too, Voyager. Stop saying it. You're making me get boastful. And my head will swell up. And I can't have a swollen head. Not today. Because I've got to go. Listen, I nearly told you my business. Oi! Stop it. Stop being sneaky. You nearly made me tell you my next move. Stop it, bestie. Stop it. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. In your case, it's fall down 8 times, got up 9, darling dears. The energy of the 9. Because you had to end certain circumstances and situations, but you had to use your psychic abilities, your sensitivities, darling dears. You had to lean into your spirituality to realize that it wasn't for you. It speaks about your spiritual strength, darling dears. It also speaks about your ancestral protection. Look. We've got 2 9s on the tableau, darling dears. And when we see 2 9s, whatever they did to you in the past was a minor gain. What's the point in winning one battle over you, bestie, when you are going for the whole war? Good God. They must feel stupid. They look stupid. Look at it. I didn't even see that. Look. We've got 999 in the UK. That's the number for calling the emergency services, darling dears. You ended a karmic cycle when you chose yourself. And this is all of the negative energies that they're sending at you. This is why I tell you all of the time. Protect yourself, especially in your boudoir. in front of the mirror, which is a portal, obsidian black crystal or black tourmaline. I also sleep with obsidian black crystals over my bed. Listen, you ain't getting me none. When I go to my sleep, I like to sleep like a newborn babe, darling dears, in the arms of the Most High. Yeah. They're worried, darling dears, stressed out, anxious, nervous. Look, this is current energy. And they're looking back into the past, how they treated you, darling dears. This is why they're going to try and send in the what? The one that you won't find as offensive. When like attract like, right? The one that you will possibly find the least offensive, or they feel they're the least offensive to you, to come in to try and talk you back into fucking ease, blood. 126 in the chat. Is that not a 9? All right. We've also got 69 likes. Come on, hit the thumbs up button, darling dears. Because Divine says you better not go back. This is not an 11-11 fade. The doors must be closed. No opportunity to come through for you, darling dears. No. That is not good for you. They didn't expect you to pull this, Lazarus. You are great. More than a conqueror. They couldn't have done what you did. Overcame what you overcame by yourself. Well, you're never alone because God was always there. And now that you met me, you know you've got 64 ancestors, but you have to ask them to help you. They're getting a rude awakening about you. What did I say? Hey! 4 of Cups, when they come through, disappoint them bomber clot. Yeah, some of you need to use these Jamaican swear words to, when you say bomber, put some bass in your voice, right? Bomber clot and blood clottery, them want to come through with. Nah, blood, nip it in the bud, disappoint them. Will they hold on to that wicked hand? No, they won't. They're going to still dare try and offer you that cup of fucking ease. Listen, because you managed to overcome. You pulled a Lazarus. 5 of Pentacles in the reverse means you overcame. Your finances looking good. Your mental health is looking good. They want to come and help you back into wickedness, darling dears. Base of the deck. This in and out fickle energy. This gossiper. This leader of the chatterboxes that like to bring people down but have nothing to show in their own corner of what they've created except fucking ease, blood. Knight of Wands is a flagrant gossip, darling dears. If it's a person from an ex-relationship, this person was a dick-dealing mattress back, darling dears. And they possibly bucked up on someone just like them. Yeah, creature of the night. A full-on Revelations. 220. A Jezebel spirit bestie. Yeah. Outrageous, I know. Clarify this 9 of Wands. They want to come and brock into whatever you got going on. Page of Wands, you better put your third eye on that bitch or Mitch. When we see pages, darling, it represents the newness. This fire energy is about the newness of what? Your spirituality, darling, is you being connected with your higher self. The Page of Wands in the upright is also telling us, darling dears, that you are going to get an unexpected meeting or message. I told you, they're coming from the crevice of the devil's balls, right? Look, another page fell out. You may have as much as 2 progeny involved in your situation at this moment in time. They're coming through because of the opportunities you've created for yourself, darling dears. And when we see pages, it's something that you created from the ground up. You better make sure that your mind is free and clear. You've already told them to F off. Go and tell them to do a backflip into their mama. If their same mama is the one that what attacked you, darling dears. I told you, it's family members. The 6 of Swords again is telling you about the traveling. They want to travel towards you, darling dears. They want to come through, right? Look, because they can't get you in any message. You must have them blocked on everything, darling dears. Blockety, block, block, block. They're blocked. They've been trying to send you messages, darling dears. Yeah. Look, the King of the Narcs, darling dears. Because of the good fortune in your life, you've got the Knight of Swords. They're coming to tell you lies, but you already realize. It's because you're established whatever you've created for yourself. The Palace of Air is seeing things from a different perspective, darling dears. Having a higher perspective because of what you went through. Now, listen, bestie, there's 2 types of pain, you know. There's pain that breaks you, and you've already gotten broken around them. But there's also the pain that changed you into the baddest of them all. Never you forget that. These spell casting bottom feeders. It's making me mess up my dice now. This was supposed to be a 1. Yeah. All right. Let's play devil's advocate now. Look at all these cards are turned. Listen, look. They're block pocketers is a destabilized foundation. They're a liar and a thief and a hoodwinker. And you better make sure that you've got your third eye shined up to a bitchin' shine. Queen of Swords. Cut them off at the get-go. We've got the energy of Libra, darling dears. Libra is the 7th house of what? Contractual partnerships. It's also the Justice card in Tarot, darling dears. You are their karma. Remember I told you that? They're meant to look at what they tried to break, darling dears, but they didn't break. They didn't realize that it would be the making of you when you called hockey sticks at dawn and gave them love and light. That's 2 of these and 1 of those. All right, we're gonna play devil's advocate. Only playing, darling dears, to see what they want to come and burden your blood. Them are got you eat. That's their business, and this is spiritual attacks, the same ones that they've been sending on you. All right, dickheads. What do you want to say to the big cat? Fucking lies. They want to fucking lie to you. They want to lie to you, right? They want to lie right in your ear chakras, yeah? There's no point me pulling out no more cards after this. From the first card, he's telling you they're coming to lie to you, give you cognitive dissonance, and a big cup of opium. We don't need to know nothing more. I think we're done here, right? They're coming to lie to you, darling dears, and work on you like a what? A cheap lace thong right up in your crevices, darling dears. Do we really need to pull another? Let's look at the base of the deck. Listen, they're coming to betray. Listen, they're coming to lie to you, right? And betray your bomber ass. Listen. Bestie, I couldn't have done it better myself. The cards don't lie. People do. Just like that AI with Princess Kate. I watched this guy on TikTok. Listen, if you want to find that shit, go on TikTok. If the man broke it down with her in that stripy jumper, the stripes didn't line up. There was 11 on one side, 12 on the other. Her head proportion to her body was different. She's got a small head when she's really got a big head. No shade, right? At one point, there was a gap in her teeth. Then the gap disappeared. When she lifted up her hands, the ring disappeared. And now we've got William out there saying that it's his enemies, right? That set everyone up in the world, all of us who's got common sense, who wear our flip-flops, to attack him. Nah, blood, because they want to silence us, darling dears. And I already told you, the cards already told you where Kate is. I'm not going to repeat it again. Go and watch the videos. But like I said, they're coming to fucking lie to you, blood. They're coming to lie to you, right? And do all kinds of wickedness. This is mental torment, emotional torture. Yeah, they want you crying into your fist. Look at you holding on to your heart chakra. Listen, they may even want to give you a heart attack. Swords represent surgery, darling dears, or a big injection. Listen, they're coming, darling dears. They are coming. Dare I split the deck? I dare, because, listen. Ooh, child. Listen, I don't make things up. You saw me split the deck. They are the devil's most diligent workers. They want to put you in a cage, darling dears, of insecurity. Remember, the loudest ones, the biggest spellcasters out of them all, darling dears, the loudest ones are the ones that are the most insecure. Your confidence is silenced, darling dears. They can't take your silence and the fact that they're watching and you're bending the matrix. The devil's most diligent worker is coming in to do you worse than before and tell you nothing but lies and possibly tell lies on you. You heard it here first, folks. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings. Pick up some of the channel merchandise. There's 132 of you in the chat. Please hit the thumbs up button, darling dears. I need to get to some other big cats. They need to understand that I don't come to play. I come with real. Look at me. I'm sweating. That's how much. Look. I'm sweating. Right? I put my back into it for you guys. Anyhow. Todd love to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks where I also upload videos. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big cat wave. Until we meet again. Cat, cat. Cat, cat. Don't forget to share the lives, big cat. We've got a few other cats to let them know to prepare for the 8th of April. Remember I told you that? Fist bump. Energies. Up, 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 big cat. Third eye shined up to a bitchin' shine. Protect yourself until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat. Cat, cat.